The oldest system of worship in the world is called Typhonianism. That's why you ain't heard about it. So you got all these other people talking about the oldest stuff, but the real stuff you ain't heard about. It's called Typhonianism, Ophidianism, and Draconianism. You heard the word? You figure there ain't no word, but the white boy tell you your ideas are a little draconian. Well, if it's a word that don't exist, why is he using it in his doggone dictionary? And this is the cult of the dragon. The dragon is in the constellation of Draco. The cult of, and that's the form of the Great Mother. All the other goddesses, the Great Mother, take it from this one Great Mother. But she has a son. It's the mother and the son, and that son is Sirius, the star system Sirius, are known as Soot. Now it's interesting, we had this Draconian and Typhonian stuff up until 1907. See, Gerald Massey, when he went into the British Museum, he translated a lot of this stuff, and you can get all this in his works. But after 1907, after he translated Book of the Beginning, 1881, and then Natural Genesis, 1888, and then finally in 1907 he does Ancient Egypt, Light of the World. All this Typhonian stuff disappears. They lock it down, and only people who've been have access to it is your secret societies. And they go to Nubia, where's a lot of this Typhonian stuff, and they cover over 200 temples at the Aswan Dam, which had this Typhonian stuff in it, as well as they found Hebrew letters all over them temples. So it was the vested interests of the Jews to cover it up, because it would show the African origin of the Hebrew. 200 temples.
Yes.
And you know the white man don't. Yeah, you know the white man don't cover up nothing. Now, so you know it had to be some real serious shit for him to cover up 200 temples. And they digging in Egypt this day, and they got 200 temples up under the Aswan Dam, up under the river. See what I'm saying? That was Typhonian stuff. Now the Typhonian stuff of the Great Mother and the child developed, matured, and declined even before the first monumental phase of Egypt, where the big buildings of the dynastic Egypt. The dynastic group came in, which is your Ra worshippers and Osiris, and they replaced it, the Typhonian, and they wiped it from the monuments. And Osiris takes on the attribute of Soot, and Set becomes his nemesis, or he becomes his enemy. But Set is the oldest god in the world, and Typhonian's attributes before it comes Osiris attributes before there was Osiris used to belong to Set. All this is in Gerald Max's Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, as well as Albert Churchward's Evolution, Origins of Christianity, Evolution, Origins of Religion. So Set is the oldest primordial deity of all time, which is the star Sirius also. But Osiris becomes the star Sirius too, as well as all the other Egyptian deities. So one priesthood overtakes the other priesthood. So that priesthood, Apep, is the great dragon also. Apep was replaced by Ra. So the Typhonians at this time travel up into Mesopotamia and find Babylonia, Samaria, Chaldea, and on into Greece as the Etruscans. But they were the
time period we're talking about.
Oh man, we're talking about well, the Typhonians were basically your pre-dynastic time period, so it's before 3000 BC, about roughly. Well, Manetho says that there's 500 pharaohs in the dynastic period, which is 3,000 years, and there's 800 in the pre-dynastic, which was 5,000 years, and roughly he said we're talking about about 8,000 years. The pre-dynastic is the Typhonian. It's the Typhonian.
Pre-dynastic. Yeah.
It's the pre-dynastic. So they travel up into Mesopotamia and all that, but they also, from Mesopotamia, they become the Phoenicians.
Now these are still all black people right now.
Ain't nothing Nothing never was nothing but black. These are the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians traveled into Rome because the Phoenicians becomes Etruria, and Etruria becomes the Etruscans or the Trojans. You know, the Greek went to war with the Trojans. That's the later day Indo-Europeans going to war with the Trojans and wiped out those Etruscans. But the Etruscans find Rome and Greece, which I showed the picture. And they find Rome and Greece and establish the Greek language and the Latin language. And the first Greek mythology, Zeus and Apollo and Hercules, is a black mythology. It's just as valid. Now, Greek philosophy was stolen from Egypt years later. So don't mix up the time cycle. Greek mythology is black. Greek philosophy is plagiarized Egyptian philosophy. So don't do the time cycle. When I talk about Hercules and Zeus and Apollo and Perseus, that's black. It's not later. It's just the Phoenicians' religion of the Typhonian stuff. So you say, well, what did the Phoenicians or the Etruscans worship? They had the religion of the whole Olympian deities of Greece, which the later Indo-Europeans come in and wipe them out and then take their shit.